Hello, welcome to today's video. I'm going to be showing you how I threw some knit textures onto these polymer clay earrings using a couple different methods, so let's get started. I'm going to start by creating some basics using these molds I purchased off of Etsy. I'm going to have them linked down below as well as everything else I'm using in this video. I have a couple different textures here, and I'm just going to roll out some solid colors once I pass them through my pasta machine. I am really firmly pressing each of those molds in. You want to make sure you get even pressure. You can see a couple times I lifted up and I didn't do a very good job. So you want to take your time and make sure you've covered the entire area before lifting up that mold. I added some extra fine glitter to my white clay just to jazz it up a bit, but besides that I kept the colors really basic. The molds add such a nice effect that if you choose the right cutters and once you throw the hardware on there, though they may be basic, they are very pretty. For the next design, I'm rolling out my base really thin. This was a 5 on my pasta machine. And then using those same molds, I'm just choosing a couple different colors that go nicely together and cutting out these little squares. Once they were all cut out, I started laying them down on my base just as neatly as I could. They do not have to be perfect, and you can really choose any pattern you like. You don't have to do what I'm doing. If you are going to use a checkered pattern, be mindful of where you're placing your cutters. It does look nice if you can kind of line up the edges of the squares with the cutter versus like cutting right in the middle. You want to get the edge pieces to be as symmetrical on either side as possible. Please excuse my cat crying. If you have the patience and the willpower, you can cut out even smaller squares. I used a slightly different texture here, and you can see as I laid them down, I alternated the way that texture was going. Just adds a little more grit to the design, and I think it looks really nice. For the next one, I'm using my clay extruder. You can roll these out by hand. It's a lot more tedious that way, but if you don't have a clay extruder, it totally works. And I just chose, again, a couple different colors that I thought would look nice together, and I am squeezing out a couple different widths of these snakies of clay. I wanted to throw in some gold, so I've got this gold leaf here, and I'm just very gently rolling that with my clay, and eventually it will kind of shrink down and cover the whole thing. I'm using a white base for these ones, and again, I rolled them out fairly thin, and then I'm going to start layering on my colors. All I'm really doing here is twisting two pieces of clay together. I did a thicker one with a thinner one, or the same thickness together, and then I've added in a couple just straight pieces. I think it looks really nice if you mix up the thickness, so thinner, medium, thicker, back to thinner. I hope that made sense. I didn't trim away the excess on these ones because I have these super cute little toque cutters, and I'm keeping the pom-pom area free of that design so that I can add the pom-pom later. I just cut little pieces of white clay and pinch them together before adding them on there with some Bacon Bond. For the final design, if you're looking for that classic chunky knit sweater look, you're going to take two snakies of clay and twist them together and then lay them down on your base. And then you're going to take two more snakies of clay, and you want to make sure you twist them the opposite direction. You're going to repeat that process for the whole slab, just laying them down next to each other. And because I've used two opposite colors, I am being mindful to line them up on the slab. And I just made sure to give everything a firm press so that it stuck to my slab and I didn't have to use any Bacon Bond, but you don't want to press so hard that you lose the pattern. And here are the earrings all finished with hardware. I think they give off such a cute effect without being too difficult to put together, so hopefully you can give them a go. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and don't forget to subscribe for new videos every week.